Hi, everybody. This is Robert coming to you live again. This is the Excelia Live Show. Welcome to Excelia Live. Today, we're going to continue our topic. Today is Wednesday. We're going to continue our topic on goal setting. We started this last week on goal setting, and today we're going to continue it because this is Wednesday, right? Wednesday, we do all goal setting nights. These are goal setting nights. So we're going to get into it in a few minutes, but before I do that, let's go to the regular. Please, one, like this video. Please, two, share these videos, and please, three, leave a comment on these videos. I'd like to know where you're watching and who's watching and all that kind of good stuff. So please do all those things for me, and I'll greatly appreciate it. I'm just going to invite some people here to watch. I know it's late, well, according to my time. So it's late, but most people are going to just see this on the review, not actually live. But that's okay. Review or live, as long as people watch, that's okay. So I'm just going to buy myself some time here. I'm inviting a few people. I wish there was a invite all button. Is in this press the invite all. And too bad you only can do this while you're live. I wish you could do it before you go live. So you want to take the time while you're live to do this. But that's okay. Bear with me for a few minutes, guys. I'm almost done. Inviting some people here. Sending out some invite for people to watch the video. Today we're going to continue talking about, as I said, about goal setting. And there I'm done. Okay. So goal setting, and so again, once again, welcome to another live video of Excelia Life. We're going to talk about goal setting tonight and get right into it. Again, please like the video, share the video, and also leave a comment on the videos. Tonight, I know last week I said that we're gonna go. We are gonna set some goals, and I want to use myself an example. And my example is, for me, I have a goal to write a book, right? And so I was gonna do that, but before I get into that, maybe I'll do that next week, where we do that. Last week, just a quick review from last week. Last week we said we used the SMART. Just a quick review. We use the SMART principle, SMART, SMART, and we said goals need to be specific. Specific, I think that's what you're supposed to. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. I think that's what you're supposed to. I can't think of right now. Kind of, I didn't expect it. I wasn't planning to do this part here, but I wanted to do this. So SMART, S stands for specific, the M stands for measurable, the A stands for attainable, the R stands for realistic, and the T stands for time sensitive. Let me turn this way a little bit so I can see me more. And I'm starting over here. So time sensitive. So that's just a quick review. That's what we talked about last week. So this week now, what I want to actually talk about this week I actually want to talk about the why. Why set goals, or why we have to have goals. Why? Okay, we're going to talk about that this week, and then next week, then we'll get into in the actual setting goals. But we need to talk about this why we set goals, why we need to set goals, why the goals are important. Okay, so we're going to talk about that tonight, and it won't be too long. So the first reason why we say we want to set goal is because you want to set goals because goals give you a sense of direction. When most that's the thing that have a lot of people in life, like most average person out there on the street, most average person out there having a job, people don't set goals. I think there's a statistic that says that only 3-5% of people in society, the 3-5% of people actually have goals or set goals, and of that 3-5%, only 1% actually have written precise goals. Imagine that only 3-5% have goals in our society out there. People having a job and going about their business, and out of that 3-5%, only 1% will have written goals. Actually, you go approach them and say, "Where's your goals?" and they actually have it on a piece of paper or somewhere they have it. Only 1% of our society. So, you wonder why 99% of the income is controlled. It's controlled by 97% of the people. But about 3% of the people, and then 97% of the people are after the other 99%. No, I think I got that wrong somehow. Can I got that mixed up, turn around? Anyways, the majority of the people are after 1% of their 1% of their income or something like that, and then only 1% of the income is controlled by 3% of the society. Okay. So anyways, again, I don't think I quoted that wrong, but that's just a statistic. Forgive me if I didn't quote that right. I don't think I got it right. I'm gonna have to do a research. Maybe next week when they come back, I'll get it right. I'll do a research on that and get it right. I know it was right somewhere. So sorry guys, I didn't even plan on saying that. Anyways, the reason why we want to set goals, number one reason is because it gives us a sense of direction. Give us a sense of direction, okay? Sense of direction. Okay, so give us a sense of direction. We want to set goals because it gives us a sense of direction. Without goals, we're like it's going to have it. Without goals is like jumping into a car and driving down the street and not putting your hand on the steering wheel. You're just putting in drive and just go, let the car take you wherever. You're not driving in with Pacific or anywhere. No, you want to be able to put your hand in the steering wheel, have a specific destiny in mind to go. All right. So the number one reason why we want to set goals is because it gives us a sense of direction. We want to be like a ship on the sea of life, sailing through to a specific destination, a specific place in mind that we want to arrive to. That's what we want. We don't want to be like a ship on the sea of life, drifting to and forth wherever the wind and the tide takes us. That's where we go. That's where our lives lead us. We want to be specific. We want to have a destiny and in mind of where we want to go. We want to end up. So that's the number one reason we want to set goals. Give us a sense of direction. Number two reason why we want to set goal is give us nothing great has ever been accomplished. Any great achievers, any great successful people will tell you this. If you go study the lives of great successful people in today's world, people like Bill Gates and you name any really high great achievers, people who's in executive position in CEOs companies and stuff like Fortune 500 companies and stuff like that, they'll tell you that nothing, they didn't achieve those great success that they're experiencing without goals. So, yeah, the second reason why we need goals is because nothing great has ever been accomplished without it. So we want to achieve great success. So nothing great has ever been accomplished without goals, without a person who have accomplished great things in their lives having goals. So we want to have goals in life to achieve great success. So that's the second reason why we want to have goals. You know, people, if someone asks you, why do I need to set goals? Why do I need to have goals? You can tell them, you can say to them, because you need to have goals, because nothing great has ever been accomplished without it. So, so if you want to achieve great things in your life, you got to set goals. You got to set goals. Okay. So the third thing we need to talk about why we need to set goals, because goals help with your self-esteem and your self-accomplishments. So goals give you a sense of accomplishment, makes you help you with the self-esteem. Okay, so we all in life. I know for myself personally, I can speak for myself, but I know everybody to some degree, in some degree or another, suffer from low self-esteem. You know, in some area of your life or into some degree or another, you suffer from low self-esteem. And I know as I said myself, I suffer from low self-esteem growing up. You know, if maybe someday I'll tell you my life story, some of my childhood experiences and stuff. But I suffer from low self-esteem for a major part of my life, and so when you set goals and you have goals, you set them and you accomplish them, they help you with your self-esteem. They give you a sense of accomplishment. So the second thing is to sense of accomplishment, or should I put it, a sense of accomplishment, or help with self-esteem. I'll say help with self-esteem. It'll help you with your self-esteem. So it helps you with your self-esteem. I don't know if you can see that kind of poor handwriting there, but it helps you with your self-esteem. Help you with that. So again, when you set a goal and you accomplish your goal, man, you feel great about yourself. I know that in my own personal life, that's how I feel about when I set a goal and I accomplish it, and then it's like, yeah, man, I did it. You know, I remember one time I stopping a few years ago now, and unfortunately I kind of got myself back into it. I set a goal a few years ago to get out of debt. And I did accomplish it. I was completely out of debt. I had a car payment. I pay off my car. I pay off some other debts that I had. I was completely out of debt. Now I'm back into debt again, unfortunately. But I remember back in, I think it was in 2010 that this happened, where I accomplished that goal. I set a goal and I said I wanted to get out of debt, and I make it a goal, and I pay off my car, or pay off some other bills that I have, some other debts that I had, and I was completely debt free, and it felt so good. And I should now that I'm back in debt again, you know, I should have that as a goal again, make that as a goal again, and get out of debt. But I remember the feeling that I had back then, I've always like, whoa, just, you feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulder. You go around, you know that you don't owe anybody any money. I know the car that I was driving, nobody can come and repossess it or take it away. I knew I owned it outright. Those kind of feeling, you just get this, you feel so good about yourself. You feel good about, I felt good about not owing anybody any money, not the bank, not, not the credit card company, nobody. I owed no one. I mean, I was completely out of debt. Unfortunately, I got back into debt again. With credit card and other stuff. But yeah, I remember that feeling. It's like, wow, it felt so good, and I will do that again. I will become debt free again. It's one of my goals. Become debt free again. Just pay off everything and then no not to owe anybody any money. So it would happen again. I did it once and I know I can do it again, and I will. So it gives you a sense of accomplishment, a sense of help you with the self-esteem. So let's do one more. Let's let one more. So another reason why we want to set goals is because goals, it's important to set goals because you want to be able to identify what it is you want. Goals help you identify what it is you want. That's one of the things about people in our society. Most people don't know what they want. They're vague. Oh, I want $1 million. Oh, I want to win the lottery. I want to drive this car and that car, but they're vague. And they're not specific, and that's what goals help you do. Goals help you to identify what it is you want. So we put that as number 4. We put helps identify So goals help you identify what you want. Be specific about it, identify it. Because when you take the time to write down your goal, you got to be, remember one of the things we said about goals, it has to be specific. You got to know what it is you want. And so that's one of the things that goals help you with. It helps you to be specific. It helps you to identify what it is you want. It helps you to know what you want, to know, like, okay, this is what I want. And you be specific about it, you identify it, and you go after it. So these are the 4 reasons why we need to set goals. 1, it gives us a sense of direction. We don't want to be like, you want to just jump into a car and just put the car into drive and let the car just go where it wants to go, and you just take your hand off the steering wheel. When you have goals, it's like you having your hands on the steering wheels and you're driving to a specific destination. And I give it an example again. I use the analogy. You want to be like a ship on the sea of life sailing through, and you want to have a compass. Like a goal is like a compass that telling you, the compass is what when the ship is sailing on the seas, they use a compass to let them know when they're on course. The compass will tell them, okay, we're heading this direction, and then when they know that they're off course, from what the compass tell them, they can adjust accordingly the ship accordingly. But that's what goals are. The goals is like the compass. It tells you when you're on course and when you're off course, and you'll adjust your life accordingly. Okay, so do you want to have a sense of direction? You want to have achieve greatness. We said that the second reason why you want to have goals, to set goals, because nothing great has ever been achieved without goals. Nothing great. No one. You go and study the lives of any great achievers, any athletic achievers, movie stars, successful business people, politicians. You know, people like that in the society who have been great achievers. You know that these people are people that have goals, have set goals, and that's why they are where they are. Okay. Secondly, having goals, it helps with your self-esteem. When you set a goal and accomplish it, it helps with your self-esteem, a self-accomplishment. It make you feel good about yourself that you've actually done. You've set goals and you've done it. So, give your self-esteem. Number four, it helps with your it helps you identify what it is you want. I think it was I quoted this before and I'll quote it again at this point. Napoleon Hill, he says, one of the things in his book Think and Grow Rich, he said the number one thing for any great achievement is you must know what it is you want, and you must have a burning desire for its accomplishment. You have to know what it is you want, and you have to have a burning desire for its accomplishment. And so that's what the number four reason why you need to have goals and need to set goals is you got to know what it is you want. Be specific. That's why the majority of people in our society out there, people who are going to a job every day in and day out, they can't identify and be specific of what it is they want. That's one of the reasons why they have a job, because they figure they just have a job and that's good enough for them, right? They're not they're not ambitious to do anything beyond that. And one of the reasons for that is that they don't know what they want. They think what they have is all they want, right? And if you ask them what they want, they're very vague about it. But goals help you to be specific. You need to be specific, so it help you identify what it is you want when you have set goals. So just remember those four things. So next week, Wednesday, when we're going to talk more about goal setting. And next week, Wednesday, then we'll get into more of the specific. Remember the SMART principle, the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and the time sensitive. We get into more of that today. This week I felt that we need to, before we get into that, we need to talk about why we need to have goals. So that kind of set the foundation of us working towards our goals. Okay, so I hope you'll get something out of this. Next week, join me next week when we continue this topic, to continue talking about goal setting, and we'll get more specific into details of that. Okay, God bless you. I love you. Look, yes.